happy that all of you can turn out and you can see the crowd, at the stadium today. It goes to show something that what we're about in Lagos is about ensuring that our women, right, are one of the strongest drivers of our government. And you can see also from the teams that has brought forward today, and there's no better time, than hearing the possibility of listening again to 3 out of the 5 bills that were rejected, in the National Assembly in Abuja. A bill that has to do with female citizenship, female citizenship, and the 35% affirmative action, which, by the way, it's something that we have been, in the last 3 years, been fully implementing in Lagos Cabinet, which is the one that is within our own purview. But to go beyond is to see how many women we have that are appointed in our permanent secretary position, that are appointed in our judiciary, which even in all of our major government agencies, are usually, more inclined to women than our men. Yeah, we're pushing, competence, capacity, but it just turns out that, they always have what it takes to run all of those, offices and agencies. So we're happy, and we're believing that as it's happening in Lagos, I'm sure the narrative is being permeated in other parts of the country, right, where we need to see and understand, that what we are about is about gender equality, equality rather, gender equality, ensuring that we can give, our female, our women for, equal opportunities that the male also currently enjoying, in almost everything, in representational, in administrative, in judiciary, and in all spheres of endeavor. Because it has been proved, like I said, right, in jurisdictions where this happens, we've seen growth, we've seen development. And if you take it even at the macro level, right, the market women, are the ones that are truly, really feeding their family and empowering their children, and by extension, empowering the nation. So, get the questions right. There's an investigation that is going on. And because the criminal activity, so it's the Nigerian police that is empowered, constitutionally, to fully unravel, all of the events that happened. And you can see that it's been condemned at the highest level in our government. I personally standing up to condemn it, right, and to, offer condolences to the family of citizen, Bamishe. It's so unfortunate. It's really so unfortunate. And I've seen several, narratives, several write-ups about it. Some people being very extremely sensational, right? I mean, posting and saying that the Lagos State government, right, want to cover something, and even my person, want to cover something. I think, people trivialize life and make it, look at everything has to be that you want to score a cheap point. And I think the message really should go to people like that they're of low mind, that they're of no consequence, and our government will certainly not be deterred with such narratives. What we're about is to ensure that we transparently get to the root of it. And that's why the police, and the Department of State Security were able to immediately, pick the person. It was not in Lagos. It was in another state that they had to go and pick, the individual. And I'm sure that, the Nigerian police have the competence to be able to get us, to the final conclusion. And we've said it. Whoever is found, whoever you are, the full, route of the law will be applied, to such consequence, and will ensure that such really does not repeat itself. And I think it's important for me to, because I've also seen on social media people were asking, you don't have CCTV cameras, your cars and your vehicles. No, it's not true. In all of our BRT buses that we procured 2.5 years ago, all of them have CCTV cameras. But however, and trackers. However, the additional ones that we bought locally, the ones that we bought locally last year, are the ones that we have not installed, because you need to do a lot of configuration before you can put CCTV cameras in there, right? And so we're speaking with the manufacturer of that. I don't need to mention it, but they were purchased locally. That's the unfortunate one that this particular incident, happened. And I think it's also important for me, because I've gotten, information. At the time in which these drivers closes, and they switch off the lights, they are meant to drive back empty to their yards. Let me repeat myself. They are meant to drive back empty to their yard. Any bus that is still on service will certainly not have his lights on, so it will not have his light off. Right? And so that in itself is a litmus, or it's something that the citizens need to be aware of. Right? That once the light of a bus, is fully off, once the radar is not showing where it's going to, people should desist from entering such, because the conductors will have been out of it, the checkers will have been out of it. It's only the bus driver that is taking the bus to the terminal to go and park. And so we should just, pass on this message, and whatever additional measure that we need to put in place to ensure that all of our private operators, because these are run by private companies, all of our private operators, the SLAs that are supposed to look at it again, I'm sure the company and Lamata, they'll look at the entire process and they'll see how they improve on the SLA, that things like this do not repeat itself again.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.